I'm Kat, and this video is how I touch up my roots using henna. Now I did all over henna on my hair, and I have a video about that you might want to watch first because that has a lot more information. But just to summarize, I only use 100% henna powder, 100% cassia powder, and chamomile tea. So I use some warm chamomile tea, and that's the acid that will make the dye release from the henna and the cassia, and that's the only stuff I'm putting on my hair. I sometimes rinse it out using coconut milk. Sometimes I use a lot of coconut oil the night after I do my henna to give it a little bit more moisture, but I think this time I just used coconut conditioner and it turned out really well. So this is actually the finished product, and you can see how my roots are darker than the rest of my hair, which is how my hair naturally is. It's winter right now, so it hasn't gotten a lot of sun, but you can see the hair that did bleaches out quite a bit when it's actually sunny and when I'm outside running around. So this is the finished product, and I'll show you how I did it. I mixed my henna about 8 hours ago, and it's been sitting in a warm place with the cover on, and I just tested it because I could tell that the dye was releasing, and it looks like it's ready to put on my hair. So you can see I have quite a bit of roots. It's just all ashy blonde roots up in this business. So I haven't washed my hair in probably 3 days. I just feel like it works better when I don't. And this is how I touch up my roots. I'm gonna do the underside first. So because I don't have clips that make this much easier, I always just tie my hair up in random sections. So I'm just going to tie up the top section, and I will dye the roots at the nape of my neck first. Now this probably is not the best method for doing this. This is just how I do it. Try and get that out of the way. I'm just brushing it on and trying to only get the roots. And then I'm going to let down a little bit more hair. Tie that up and out of the way. So I just kind of dab it in there. And I can kind of roughly feel that I'm getting it mainly on the roots. You can't really help but have some kind of overlap, so that's fine. And I squish it in there until I can feel it wet on my scalp, so I know it's gotten all the roots. Again, I'm not a professional. This is just how I do it. When I'm getting it on here, I try and get it a little bit on the hair that's down and a little bit on the hair that's up. Just on the roots. And I massage it in. And I'm trying not to get it too much on the hair that's already been hennaed, because the more you layer henna on your hair, the darker it gets. And I'm one of those people who it actually bleaches out in the sun, but it probably doesn't do that for most. So you've been warned. So I'm going to let down a little bit more hair. And tie this bit up again. And keep going. So I've gotten all the back of my head. Now this is the part where I actually kind of take it a little bit more seriously. I don't usually do pigtails or anything where I'm parting my hair down the back of my head, so that's why that part isn't quite as important. But I part my hair all over the place on top of my head, so now I'm going to go from side to side. So next I'll part it right here. Get it a little bit on the underside. Now it's on my face. And then turn the hair over and kind of squish it down into the henna that's already on my scalp. And make sure I'm getting all along my hairline. Then add more into the part. All the way back to where the hair already has henna on the back of my head. Another part. Ugh. And your hair will get tangled because you're basically putting mud in it and it gets really gritty. Then add more henna to the part. And it's been about a month and a half since I hennaed my hair, and my hair grows freakishly fast, so there is quite a bit to touch up. And I thought I should note, I do have a lot of allergies, so even though I do allergy tests every time I henna, I take a couple Benadryl before I henna, just in case. You know. Alright, so I have the henna on my roots. And it's not pretty, and it's not comfortable, but that's just how henna is. So I'm going to sit with this just on my roots, and I'm not going to wrap my hair up because I don't want the ends of my hair to get wrapped up in the henna and get like dyed in weird patches. I'm just going to sit with it like this, put my hair tie around the ends, and find some way to occupy myself for approximately an hour. Right. Okie dokie. So this has been sitting on my head for an hour. Now, since my hair does bleach out in the sun, most people wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna add the rest of my henna to the rest of my hair to darken up all of it that has bleached out. I just glob it on and massage it into my head. And once I've covered all the rest of my hair, I really work it in. And by squeezing it through, I'm trying to make sure that there are no patches left dry, because I don't want any weird spots in my hair. So now that I've covered the rest of my hair, I'm just going to let that sit and do its magic for probably another half hour to 40 minutes. So it's been about 45 minutes, so now it's time to rinse the whole thing out. And now I've rinsed it all out, and it is looking good. Here it is, just about dry, and it's in a braid for me to sleep. And I'll show you what it looks like in the morning. And here is the finished product. I kind of styled it and kind of gave up, but the color looks great. Here's the color in artificial light. So it's really, really red in artificial light. Just thought I should tell you that. Really red. The roots underneath are a little bit darker, which is how I like it. I don't even know if I'm like actually pointing this at myself. And here's what it looks like in natural light. So it's a lot more strawberry blonde in the natural light. There you go. Can you see that? I have no idea what I'm pointing this at. There it is. Strawberry blonde, and then you can see huge difference when I move into the artificial light. So including the cost of the henna, the cassia, the chamomile tea, and the cheap coconut conditioner, it probably cost me about $6 a month to maintain my hair color. Whereas with regular hair dye, it was costing me about $150. And I just wanted to do a quick side note. I have hennaed my eyebrows before, and it really only lasts for a couple of days because I exfoliate my face, you know, a couple times a week most of the time. So it doesn't really stay on my eyebrows, and my eyebrows are actually like really blonde anyway. They're stealth eyebrows. So what I do is I use this really cheap brown pencil from Forever 21. Who knows what's in it, because honestly it can't be that great quality, but it's called brown and it's super cheap, so it's actually red. It's bad. It's really bad. But I just draw a line along the bottom of my eyebrow to kind of define it. And there's already a little bit in there. I'm just showing you again. So I draw a little bit of a line underneath, and then I comb it up into my eyebrow to blend it. And I do mine pretty light because I think I look really silly with like super defined pinup eyebrows. Unless someone else does them, I just can't do it because then it looks weird. And that's how I get my eyebrows red. It's actually a cheap brown pencil. But that's the finished hair. And that's just from 3 plants and some hot water and cheap conditioner. Yeah, it's pretty sexy.